Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have is the Yahiko VG-10 Gyuto 240mm knife with a newer handle, walnut stabilized handle they're putting on them. I've done these knives before in reviews, but they've switched the handle to a more durable stabilized walnut and maple handle. But what these are VG-10. They are clad. So the core, hardcore cutting edge steel is VG-10 full stainless. Heat treats around 60 Rockwell. The construction has soft stainless cladding on either side of that hardcore cutting edge steel. And it looks like the cladding does wrap over the top of the spine. These are kind of just a good, durable, a little bit of meat behind the edge grind to them. Be great in a professional kitchen as a prep knife or just general knife. Also at home. They're not laser class knives, but they're very good, very durable, and economically priced for what you get. So if you'd like a wah handle versus a, shouldn't say American, a Western or Yo type handle, this is an alternative, little lighter knife overall. The weight balance will be a little more forward, especially if you do a pinch grip. It would be kind of nice and more balanced for some people than a Yo handled knife or a Western handled knife with a full tang. So weight and dimensions can vary on these a little bit, but they'll be pretty similar. This one's 188 grams or 6.7 ounces with this handle. Edge length is right about 240 millimeters or 9.5 inches. The overall length is 378 millimeters or 14.9 inches. And the spine thickness, they're not super skinny, the spine. This one's about 2.6 millimeters at the back and about 2.5 millimeters halfway down. Not a ton of distal taper on the thickness of the spine. Pretty much when you get to the grind, it starts to thin out towards the tip, but again, the tip's got a little bit of meat to it. It's not just going to fly through stuff. And here's the back shot with the choil. Again, a little bit of meat behind the edge for durability. It's always a compromise on characteristics. So blade height is 49.7 on this one, or close to 50. The handle, again, is a stabilized version of walnut with maple. It's octagonal, and nice fit and finish on this handle. It's the stabilization gives it a smoother finish when they sand it down. It's very smooth here where the two materials meet, and the circumference is about 72 millimeters or 2.8-ish inches where the two materials meet. These have a fairly wide neck on there. The handle is actually not quite as wide as the neck on the vertical part here, but what that does is give you pretty much a pretty smooth junction right there to just put your finger up in a pinch grip. So it's a fairly wide neck, but you still have pretty good clearance here, for cutting board on this. And balance point is going to bring that, since the blade's, got some mass to it, it's going to bring the balance point up there. And for me, on a pinch grip, it's pretty close, maybe slightly in front or pretty close to a pinch grip. And so that, this knife's got a little bit of weight to it. It is a 240, but you still have a pretty neutral feel. So if you like that versus a more handle-heavy Western-style full-tang handle, this is a great option with this stabilized wa, or Japanese handle. The knife is fairly stiff overall. As I mentioned, the fit and finish is good. They've relieved the corners of the spine just a little bit. They've polished the spine quite a bit. They've also done a little bit on the corners. If I had to kind of, maybe what would I tweak on this, I'd probably hit that with a little sandpaper in the choil in the neck and clean that up a little bit and round it off just a little bit, take the edge off. Here is the beauty shot. So you can see it's a pretty plain looking knife. You've got some screened in or etched in kanji on the right side. Here's your vertical finish marks. You've got a little bit of polish down towards the edge. Here's your cladding line. It's pretty much a straight cladding line, not a wavy cladding line. And a little bit of polish towards the edge. There's your edge bevel, shiny edge bevel there. Let's see what else. Let's look at the cutting board and see what this guy looks like. So here's what the cutting board profile looks like. It's a pretty versatile profile. You've got a tip that's kind of mid-height tip in relation to the center line of the knife, so that means you're going to get pretty high on a rock. So this will rock really, really well. Again, it's a big knife, so I'm trying. It's a little awkward me the way I'm holding this. But it flows very nicely into a little bit of a stop at the back, so it kind of flows into the heel, and then you've got a pretty flat area in the back, 30%-ish of the blade, and so you've got a good chopping area back there, low belly towards the middle, and a little bit more aggressive belly towards the front. So this knife will do pretty much all techniques pretty well. It's you got 240 to work with lengthwise, so it gives you some options on the profile. But just a real nice kind of good solid knife for especially pro kitchens if you want, or home kitchens. Not the world's laser, best laser performer, but a little bit of meat behind the edge for some forgiveness and durability. So just a good kind of balance of features. So this is the Yahiko VG-10 Gyuto 240mm walnut, stabilized walnut handle.